Thank you for coming to our Friday program. Fridays and Saturdays, uh, we Fridays and Saturdays are the days that we spend quality time to look at some keys, some very, very strong keys. Many a times when I look at biblical scriptures and biblical narratives, I start asking myself, why is it that God came to visit some people and God did not come to visit other people? Why did Jesus approach Saul on the way to Damascus but did not stop Judas from going to betray him? Have you asked yourself those questions? Why is it that the relationship between Mary and Martha, Mary Magdalene, Nicodemus, Joseph of Arimathea, the man with the pitcher of water who owned the upper room where the disciples stayed, why is it that their relationship was different from the way Jesus related with Peter? For example, Peter was flip-flopping all over the place. Today he's with Jesus. Tomorrow he'll deny Jesus. Why didn't Jesus tweak his character and change Peter? I keep asking myself, why did he have to come to Moses when he was 80 years old, Joseph 30, Abraham 75? Why do God visit some people and some people he doesn't visit them? What's the reason for this? Your mindset, the way your mind operates, that you are in charge of, and the way your spirit operates attracts God or removes God. So let's put it very clearly. Your prosperity depends on, Victoria and Mary, I hope you're writing. Your prosperity depends on how you react with your mind and with your spirit. Your prosperity will depend on how you react with your mind or with your spirit. That's a major key. Next, your prosperity will depend on how deep are you committed to what you want. How deep are you committed to what you want? Your prosperity will depend on it. Next, your prosperity and abundance will depend on the level of value you attach to the choice God and valuable people are throwing out for you. Let's go. Abraham, you think that you are now an elderly man and that you've accomplished all you wanted to accomplish in life. Let me tell you, if God did not come for Abraham, Abraham did not seek God. God came for him. But he was already a righteous man. But he did not know God the way God revealed himself to Abraham. So what makes somebody prosper? You prosper because you are willing to see what God is seeing about you that you are not able to see about yourself. So inside Abraham, God saw 8 children. Abraham and Sarah will have died without no children, without no seed for their future. But God saw Isaac. Ishmael came through the back channel. The others came through the door. Keturah had 6 children for Abraham. Sarah had 1. Hagar has 1. So 8 children would not have come to the world if Abraham did not say to God, allow me to see what you are saying about me. So write this major key down. Those who are willing to see what God reveals about them, whether for bad, for a change, or good, for the best. If you refuse to see what God is saying about you, then you will die broke. Nobody will know that you came to the earth. When did the story of Abraham begin? It began when God elected him. The story of Genesis chapter 12, 1 to 3, that continues throughout Genesis, was not just a story. It was how God revealed what was hidden in Joseph, in Jacob, in Isaac, in Abraham. Things that they will have died with. So you should be happy that you have this kind of God. You should be happy that you have a God who is willing to share with you what he knows about you. When nobody believes in you, when nobody trusts you, when nobody is able to accept who you are and what you were born with for good. So the reason why God comes for some and doesn't come for others, doesn't visit other people, he visits some and doesn't visit others, is simply because of the quality of your mind and spirit. Lord, I'm willing to see what you see, and I'm willing to change. In today's world in which we live, if you are not willing to be computer literate, how are you going to make it? If you are not able, let me tell you, learning computer has nothing to do with going to college to learn computer. If you want to learn computer, you don't want to spend money, call my office and I'll tell you what to do in the city in which you live. And you will become a computer expert. You are not going to pay a dime for it in your city. How are you going to run business fast except there is innovation? Those who do not want to innovate will be carried away by the doom of change. D-O-O-M, the doom of change. Look at me today. I'm spending my life trying to find new ways of making what God has sent me to the my assignment to be relevant. I was studying in the religious department. Someone approached me from the English and literary department in the university that I went and said they gave them a very serious ancient poetry to write and to interpret. That he will pay me money. I should name it. He will pay me because he knows that I have some very strong sense of cognitive imagination. So I said, okay, put the money on the table. He did. I said, see me tomorrow. And in the night, I sat back, turned my music on, and that was, what is his name? Haydn. I was playing classic. I listen to classical music when I am into focus. And I listen to smooth jazz when I am at serious work, like my daily 8 to 5 hours job, 8 to 5 o'clock job. I am listening to smooth jazz and I'm working. Or I listen to dance music, something that is upbeat. But if something that requires a lot of thinking, symphonies. That's why music by people like Barry White, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett. I'm attracted to those kind of music because they have symphonies in them. It's a little bit slow, but not too slow. And I sat back and I interpret an ancient epic poetry. I finished reading it, I interpreted it, and I rework it into a modern concept. I sent it to the guy. When that guy presented his paper before the class, I went to attend to watch. He started reading, he read the first sentence, and the professor said, stop. Where did you get that from? That doesn't come from you. I know you. I've been with you this last 3 years as a student in the English and Literary department, and I know how you think. This is a PhD work. Who wrote that for you? He lied. He said that he wrote it. The professors argued and said, no. But keep reading. We'll talk after your presentation. He kept reading, and people were standing and cheering and sitting. By the time he finished, the professor took his paper and gave him 150 over 100. I mean, instead of 100 over 100. Mary, is that not how teachers do it? 100 over 100? The professor wrote 150 over 100. He gave him A. And he put plus 5 times on the A. So when they finished, the professor said, tell me the truth, I won't penalize you. Who did you approach to tell you who dictated this? And the guy said, is that reverend gentleman, that Presbyterian reverend gentleman at the religious and philosophy department. He reads ancient and classical novels. So the professor said, send for him. So they sent for me. So I went into our office. That's how a love relationship blossomed between me and 3 professors, because they occupy the same room. They stay in the same office. When I was coming to America, I did tell them they were the only one that I hinted, and my professors in my department that I hinted. And those ladies, they spoiled me. They were very nice to me. All of them, 3 women, single women. I think 2 of them, one of them had a boy who was already grown and in college. And do you know that they were sending me epic work for me to interpret and to write? And recently I received an email from one of them who is asking me to start writing my novels and start putting my poetries together. because he said you never know. They may win you a Nobel Prize. So I'm just letting you guys know that I'm not just a pastor, a shepherd, a preacher, a healer, a prophet, a bishop. No, I also have other talents. I have a lot of talents. It might even be that my talent as a reverend gentleman might not be where my money is.
Who knows? Yeah.
That's how life is. If you do not experiment with your gift, how will you know whether that's where your bread and butter is? Please write that down. If you are not willing to experiment with your talents, how will you know whether your real bread and butter is in that? Because what you are trained to do might not even be what will give you money. Because many of us think that what we are trained to do in college or professional work or what we inherited from our parents is where our money is, or what we've inherited from our churches. And you may not know that is not where it is. Abraham's life would have ended in awe of the Chaldeans. A wandering Aramean was my father. That's how Abraham is looked at in biblical narratives and stories. But God saw other talent in him beyond being a leader of his clan. That this guy is a carrier of nations, and he's going to die with nations inside himself. And God decided to step in. Why? Let me tell you why God always step in with those who don't know what they should have known about themselves. Because God sees in your mind that you are willing for innovation. You are willing for a change. God sees that your spirit is an open spirit. Look at Isaac. Everybody is fleeing to Egypt, going to other countries to go and look for food. Everywhere is dry, no rain. People are complaining. Problems everywhere. There's no food. And he did what a normal person should do. He was thinking of going to Egypt because his father went to Egypt. Abraham went to Egypt. While he was thinking about that, God came to him and spoke to him and said, Isaac, do not go to Egypt. Stay in this land. And that's where he received revelation. You do not need to be looking at your problems for solution. Problems have no solution. If all you are looking at is your problem, that problem will have no solution. You and your God is the solution to that problem. Please write that down. Problems in itself, make sure you put it that way. Problems in itself has no solution. And he refused to entertain famine. He refused to entertain fear. And he started to plant. How do you plant when there is no rain? When there is no crop? Crop will not yield. Everybody else, their field did nothing grew. But in the field of Isaac, because he obeyed God, there was greenery and water. There is water under you. He started digging wells and watered his crops from the well that he dug. So, why are you looking at the bad things happening to you? Instead of creating something you should do against it to go away. You relax, you complain, you are full of fear, you panic, Is that what the Bible teaches you? Is that what the ancient people did? And they survived it? And they became rich? And even became mightier? That's what is spoken about Isaac. Write this down. If you allow your problem to begin to rule over your life, you will become a slave to that problem, and that problem will cripple you and kill you. This week, I applied for something in a company. There is something they are supposed to return back to me. And they say that they can't do it because that is not their rules. So I said, okay, thank you. A day later, I called them back. After being to the altar and taking care of business there, I called them back. The same company told me, yeah, they are going to do it. And they will also give me a bonus. By the time the conversation finished, the bonus was already there. The same people who told me yesterday they will not do it, today they were like a different people because I went to the altar and took care of business.
Hallelujah. Amen.
I've told you guys many years ago how I returned something, what do we call when you're about to move from one place to the other. In those days, you have to return the equipment to AT&T or Verizon or whatever company or Time Warner, and then they will bring you a new equipment in the new place you are going. I have my receipts that they were returned in their office, and they wrote to me and gave me such a big bill that heaven knows that I will not pay it. That thing wasn't returned, and my account has been delinquent for 9 months. You can imagine how long it took for them to respond. And they gave me a big bill, very big bill of some thousands. So I went into their office and I gave them the receipt. They look at it, and still they refuse to take that amount off. So I came back. The letter they wrote to me, all the letters they wrote to me, I took them, opened them, put them near my altar, and I stood on top of the letter. And I said, in the name of my God, Jesus, I destroyed intelligence behind this. Amen. And since you guys say that I owe you $4,000 US, you are going to pay me $4,000 US for wasting my time. And I jump on top of those paperwork they sent to me. I jump on them, I jump on them, I jump on them, and I dance around them. Like the people of Israel did against Jericho. I start marching around that paperwork. That is, I start marching around it 7 times, 6 times. In the 7 times, and I shouted, I got money that I didn't work for. That's what I said. They are going to pay me for disrespecting me and not putting in the correct paperwork. I did it like today. Next day, 9 o'clock in the morning, my phone rang and I pick it up. He said, oh, this is AT&T calling. We want to call and apologize for so and so that happened. We are just looking at your account. This account should have been closed about a year ago or so. And so we think that this was bad on our own side. And every equipment was returned. The people who are supposed to scan it in did not scan it in, but the equipment are here. It corresponds with the paperwork you brought. Even if you didn't have that paperwork, they scan it in. We saw it. It's in your account. Same people who have written to me several times, threatening to take me to court. And I took them first. I didn't want to take them to physical court first. I said, let me take them to the court of where forces come to really fight battles. Do you know what AT&T did? They sent me a check for $4,000. That was 2005. They sent me a check. They never do that because that's what I asked for.
Hallelujah. My gosh. Amen.
That's the check. I took that check. Half of it, I used it to go and buy federal bonds. I bought bonds with it. Keep it there. How many years is it? I can't remember. Tell me about it. The rest I took it and shopped for my daughters for Christmas.
Tell me about it.
When you panic, you will die. Panic, you die. Have you not seen when lions are coming after a buffalo and all the buffaloes scattered? And a one-eyed buffalo that is king turn around and said, bloody hell, I have horns. I can kill anybody or anybody I want with my horns. Next thing it goes after the lion, as the lion wants to jump on top of him, the buffalo also jump and stick its horn right on the head, between the eyes, right on the cheek, right on the neck, and got everything busted. So I'm not going to panic. The rest of you are idiots. You can run all you want. Either you stand and fight and conquer, or you get killed and eaten. And every lion that hit the panic of their leader, crying for help, dying, because his body got stuck in the horn. The bush rangers have to come and separate, just to try to get the lion out, because it was already dead from the horns. And every lion left town. Every lion in that territory left town. Intelligence is trying to bully you, and you agree. And you are going to die with your giftedness. You are going to die with your talent. You are making a mockery of God, who gave you permission and opportunity to come to the earth. If everybody gave up, where will we have been as a civilization? No electricity, no train, no airplane, nothing. No quality food. Disease will have been killing us. I will have died since I came out of the womb of sickness. Thanks for medicine. Because some people did not give up on their talents. And you are enjoying those things today. If you are not willing to see what God sees about you, you'll remain where you are forever. And you can go on blame Trump, blame Obama, blame the Clintons, blame Republicans, blame Democrats, blame your parents, blame your race. If you were born black, you would have, if I was a white person, I would have done better. And then you are born white. If I was black, maybe I would have done better. Think about what I'm telling you tonight. Because that is going to initiate. It's not enough to say to God, oh, whatever you show me about myself, I'm going to change. Whatever you tell me, I'm going to do something about it. God is looking at your spirit and your mind to see whether you are rebellious or stubborn, whether you understand the protocols of heaven and earth, whether you understand what honor means, whether you understand what innovation means. And if you don't, he will never come for you. He will not. Because God only comes to those who are serious with what they want. This is Bishop Idika Imeri, and I want to thank you for coming to our session tonight. And I will see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night. Bye. Bye, everyone. Good night. Thank you, Bishop. Good night.